All right, we have a new fake imposter Supreme Court judge that is about to be announced possibly. Coney is also, I think that fake name is Amy Coney or something. That is actually Priscilla Presley, who also plays Heather Locklear. We also have Ben Affleck's mother. She's playing that one too. She has played Steve Jobs' wife, John Lennon's wife, Harrison Ford's two first wives. The reason you see that person in all these support gigs, so that's basically a person that's always in the background of these gigs, is because that one is a controller. I'm not quite sure the parents yet. I'm just putting some theories together. That's usually how we do find their parents. And a lot of times the way that their parents were trained and programmed they were trained the same way. So if you look at Joan Crawford, who also played Rose Kennedy, also a woman named Mrs. Slusher, I would have known her in 4th grade. That one I thought was a man for sure. So don't know quite what's going on here, because that one, or Joan Crawford, Rose Kennedy, shows up with the same eyes as Priscilla Presley, who is also playing Coney, the new Supreme Court judge pick possibly. Now, there's some hereditary factors in there, and also they like to put the parents or the cohorts on the Google pics of the actors. So the person playing Priscilla and Heather Locklear and all those support cast people, that one also plays Laura Walker on the Oracle Report. She or he, because we don't know if that is a man yet. I think it is. I'm pretty sure that is a George Washington male. Not positive, but I think it might be. That one plays Laura Walker and is a supposed astrologist for the Oracle Report. So I'm gonna put a link to that in the box below the video, or above the video. Now, when I pulled up Laura Walker from the Oracle Report, it wasn't a mistake that Joan Crawford pulled up too, because that one's very genetically matched, but also very well could have raised Laura Walker or Heather Locklear or Priscilla Presley, whoever you want to call her or him at this moment. So that's why Crawford showed up on the Laura Walker Google pictures, most likely, because they are very genetically matched. The other one that I'm looking at is Vernon Presley, who also plays John Dingle and George Jones. Off camera, he has gone by Frank Froten from Lowell, New Hampshire, and George Perkins from Kansas City, Missouri. And that one was running between Texas and Missouri. So off camera, George Perkins was married to Artland Perkins, who also played Maureen Froten in Lowell, New Hampshire. So off camera, those two are definitely males. Artland Perkins, aka Maureen Froten, also played the Munchkin in Poltergeist, and I've gone over this in the last couple weeks, Juliet Prose back in the 50s. Also has gone by Pat Bowers off camera and Alvesta Perkins off camera. So because these people were so invested on trolling my father and I, that's how I could find them over and over and over. And that's why he called them stewed toms or stewed tomatoes at during the Super Bowl, because they're stewed toms. They're toms because they're both males. Stewed tomatoes. That was his code at that time. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I was already onto him. I just hadn't proven my case yet. I was hoping for the best. I was wrong. So, you know, They're really lost souls. They're very, very lost souls. They have been riding high on my dad's gig as Elvis Presley and as my gig as Lisa Marie Presley from the time I was born to 3.5 years old when I got fired. So they've used my videos and my pictures all these years, as well as they have that my dad, and they've banked on Graceland all these years. And instead of just paying us the royalties that they owed us, they tried to kill us. Definitely tried to kill myself. They tried to kill my father. They tried to kill my kids. These are the same people. They're not all of the people that tried to kill us, but these are a few. And they were very much invested. Because they were so invested, they had to keep trolling us. And the more they trolled us, the more their secrets came out of the woodwork. Now, when you go to CONEY, again, the Supreme Court judge, that one shows a very good likeness to George Perkins, who played Vernon Presley. I couldn't figure out the mix here with these two, but Vernon Presley and Priscilla Presley were very much father and son, or father and daughter. Because like I said, I don't know if Priscilla Presley is a dude or not. I think it is. George Washington males show up very small and they are shaped like a female. I know it's weird. You don't think that when you're looking at George Washington. He's supposed to be such a big guy, right? No, they're like 5'4" on a good day. That's probably with platform shoes on too. So off camera, when I lived at 11235 109th Lane in Largo, 33778 is the zip code, and that's in Florida. Priscilla Presley moved in next door, and I've gone over this many times. That one was supposedly living with Wolf Blitzer, and Wolf Blitzer also played Paul McCartney and Dudley Moore and other characters. He was going by Token Bob, and Priscilla was named Tony. Not a mistake. Many of the he/she's name themselves or have names as males. So when they called themselves Tony, they were really serious. They were a Tony. When I saw him immediately, I knew that we had similar eyes, him and I did, but we also share gene pool. The George Washington bloodline is part of my bloodline too, so I would have picked up some of that George Washington bloodline from my mother, and her mother was George Washington bloodline. You see what I mean? So we were the female versions, but we were, the George Washington bloodlines, and the males and the females can have that shape of eyes, the color of eyes and everything. So I noticed that right away. I couldn't figure out who Tony was for a while, and when I did, I put it public. That one also has a house, I'm pretty sure, next to RB or near RB, the ex-mayor of Indian Rocks Beach. And I've posted that on Facebook and on YouTube before, but if you are at USA Grocery, I think that's on 13th Avenue, Indian Rocks Beach. If you go across the street from there towards the beach, that's their houses on the beach side. RB's is one of them, and pretty sure Priscilla is living in one of them, or that one, the same one that RB is living in. Not a coincidence. They always group their homes together. They live really, really close to each other, so they can talk to each other without any communications like phone lines or computers or anything like that. And what else was I going to tell you? Now, going back to Joan Crawford, I didn't know who Rose Kennedy was in 4th grade, but in 4th grade I had a teacher show up that was at Waverly Elementary School in 1977, and that was, she called herself Mrs. Slusher, and this woman had designer outfits, back in the 70s. Everything was immaculate. She was immaculately dressed every day. This was not teacher outfits. This was a poser. And That one showed up to troll me after I survived a death attempt in 1976. So when that one showed up again in 1999, okay, so I don't want to make this video too long. That one showed up in 1999 again in Iowa. At the University of Iowa Hospitals in 1999, Mrs. Slusher showed up again and even started to recite a history lesson from 1977. That's weird. Now, since they kept showing up, they kind of showed their crimes. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the next video before I go into this, just because it downloads quicker. And it also keeps this information separate. So we are piecing together the connection between Vernon Presley, George Perkins off camera, who supposedly just died on August 10th. They're running. And he also plays Frank Froten in Lowell, New Hampshire. That one and the connection to Priscilla, I didn't quite get actually until today. So that's why I'm putting this on camera right now. And I'm pretty sure that he is the biological father of Priscilla Presley. And that's been this main connection. They, like I said, they have been living high on the hog on my dad's and my royalties all this time. That's why she or he played Priscilla. That's why he played Vernon Presley.